The murder that shattered small-town America. It was the kind of morning you'd expect in small-town America, the sun rising over the sleepy streets, kids grabbing breakfast before school, neighbors waving at each other on porches. But in one moment, everything changed. Because in a quiet town where everyone knew everyone else, a brutal killing ripped apart the sense of security and revealed that the darkness you never imagined could live next door. Nestled in the heartland of the United States, the town of Cedar Hollow was the kind of place that prided itself on its community spirit. A population of just 5,000, a main street lined with family-owned shops, the annual fair, the 4th of July parade. It felt safe. Until one summer night, on June 12th, at around 11:45 p.m., the unthinkable happened. A local teacher, beloved by students and parents alike, was found murdered in her own home. The victim, 42-year-old Laura Evans, had moved to Cedar Hollow 5 years earlier, teaching high school English. She lived alone, drove a faded red sedan, and had quickly become integrated into the town, volunteering at the library, leading the drama club, helping with the PTA. So when her body was discovered by the town sheriff's deputies, the entire community froze. The call came in at 11:47 p.m. Neighbors reported hearing glass break, then a single piercing scream. Deputies arrived to find the front door ajar, the lights off, and the house's interior in disarray. A lamp toppled, a chair overturned, shards of glass glinting on the hardwood floor. In the living room lay Laura Evans, shot twice at close range, no note, no immediate motive. The scene was horrifying in its cruelty and precision. News spread like wildfire. The next morning, coffee shops were quiet. Grown men and women wiped tears or sat in stunned silence. A place once full of laughter and familiarity now felt alien. The mayor declared the town in mourning. Every school assembly paused for a moment of silence. Investigators combed through the house looking for clues. No forced entry, no sign of a struggle beyond the initial chaos. A set of footprints in the backyard were interrupted abruptly. A neighbor's security camera captured a shadow moving across the street at 11:42 p.m., then nothing. Detectives found Laura's phone in a bathroom, wiped clean. Whoever did this had come prepared. As the investigation unfolded, the sheriff revealed that Laura had confided to a friend a week earlier that she'd sensed someone watching her. She dismissed it as paranoia. In a town this small, that comment sent chills through residents. If the teacher felt unsafe, who then could feel safe? The local media seized on every detail: the victim's spotless reputation, the absence of past conflict, the bizarre lack of motive. The narrative that emerged was simple. A trusted member of the community had been killed in cold blood, and everyone now realized that the walls of trust were thinner than they thought. Suddenly, Cedar Hollow's predictable rhythms fractured. Parents picked up their children early. The fair that year was scaled down. The local diner installed security cameras. Doors that were once left unlocked before bedtime were now bolted. Gossip ran rampant. Who had motive? Who could it be? The initial shock gave way to fear and suspicion. Longtime residents reported seeing new faces. A stranger's car parked too long at the library, a person loitering by the theater after hours. The town that had prided itself on openness began to close in. The tragedy didn't just take a life, it took the sense of belonging. Weeks into the investigation, detectives identified Laura's last known contact, a local real estate developer, Martin Blake. He and Laura had collaborated on a community play. Neighbors saw them talking together at town events. Martin claimed it was professional only. But when investigators looked deeper, they found Martin's phone pinged a cell tower in the area on the night of the murder. His alibi was weak. He said he was driving home at the time, but no one else saw him. Then came a shocking twist. Forensic analysis of the broken lamp found a faint trace of latex glove material under the base. The glove matched a distinctive brand used by a contractor, and Martin's company procured that brand weeks earlier for a renovation job at Laura's home, which he denied. When confronted, Martin changed his story multiple times. The town that trusted him now watched him with guarded eyes. Still, no arrest was made immediately. The sheriff held a press conference. "We have a person of interest," he said, "but we must be absolutely sure before we proceed. This is a small town. An arrest of one of our own will send ripples through the community. Under mounting pressure, investigators executed a search warrant at Martin's home. Hidden behind a false wall, they found a duffel bag containing the expected glove brand, a flashlight matching the model used to disable Laura's security system, and a handwritten note. "You will pay for betrayal." Martin denied writing it. Fingerprints were lifted. The evidence mounted. In a dramatic town hall meeting held at the high school gym, the sheriff announced the arrest. Martin Blake, charged with first-degree murder. The courtroom overflowed. The media flooded in. For the first time in Cedar Hollow's recent memory, justice was pursued in public view. But the story doesn't end with an arrest. Cedar Hollow had changed. Trust, once given freely, now carried caution. The annual fair returned the following year, but with new security. The diner cameras became a reminder of what was lost. Parents whispered warnings about strangers, about locked doors, about hidden motives. Laura Evans's portrait hung in the school's corridor. Students wrote essays about her kindness, the way she encouraged them. Teachers always remembered her smile. But for the town, she became a symbol, the moment small-town normalcy cracked. At the heart of the tragedy lies a deeper question. How safe are we in places built on trust? When the familiar turns dangerous, the heartbreak isn't only for the victim, it's for an entire community. The murder of one beloved teacher shattered the idea that anyone here was immune. And now, whenever someone walks past the theater or hears a car slowly pull into a driveway at night, they remember Cedar Hollow. They remember Laura. They remember that sometimes the darkness arrives not from the outside, but from within. If you're moved by this story, subscribe to Minds of Murder and join us as we explore the cases that shake whole towns and the lessons they leave behind. Because understanding the crime begins with understanding the mind.